What is up, everybody? Today is Wednesday, November 20th. Today we took two trades. The first trade was a loss, and the second one was a scalp that brought me back into green for the day. But overall, if I had held that, it would have stayed a loss. So, coming into today, let's go to the 4-hour chart here. We know that we had this massive drop here overnight. You can see in the London session to the 10 a.m. candle, we just dropped completely. Now, what I was watching was to see if we were going to close below this 4-hour fair value gap. And we did. So I was kind of bearish in the morning, looking for a bearish setup at first to try to target this low. Now, clearly we didn't get that. And then we also didn't get any kind of push to the upside either. So we're kind of inside of this range right now. And we'll see which side wants to hit first. So I did start off with that bearish bias because it did that. But the only thing that kind of held me on to a bullish bias was the fact that we were holding this 1-hour fair value gap right there. We came down, we swept some liquidity internal right here, and then we started to move back on up. So I was looking for a continuation to go higher, which we didn't get until the afternoon session. On the 15-minute time frame, I had marked out these areas where if we do get a 15-minute candle close below, that we would go lower, or if we have a 15-minute candle going above, that we would go higher. Now, I was a little busy at work, so I did miss a good setup that showed up here. I was looking to see if we would get a 15-minute candle close above this to potentially go higher, and we did, but for some reason I still went short, right? And it was because of the fact that, we were not getting any kind of strong push higher. There was really no strong reaction to go higher. But what I kept missing was, well, number one, I wasn't at the chart fully this morning. And number two was the fact that, we did close above that, and we are respecting this 15-minute fair value gap as well. So the first trade that I took was after 10 o'clock, fully knowing that we did close below that 4-hour fair value gap. So I'm looking for a short setup to form. Now, this trade right here, I should not have taken it. I should not have taken it because we had that 15-minute candle close above that FEG. So we have conflicting biases going on between the time frames. We don't have multiple time frame analysis, and that is what leads to this insane market structure where we are getting lower highs, higher lows. It's just very confusing. And honestly, I should have stayed out of the market altogether. But when we had that close below and seeing that we could have had some kind of potential reversal, I could have gotten in somewhere here to take a long scalp. But what really should have made me take a long was the fact that we did close above that 15-minute fair value gap. So like I said, I was looking for a short trade. The trade that I took was the fact that we had this bullish imbalance right there, marked it out. We had a close below that, and so I put my stop above this recent swing high here. I was looking to see if we're going to hold this 1-minute imbalance, and if we do, we're going to continue going lower. So once I saw price start to drop like this, I did not move my stop to break even, which I should have. And then when I was working, I wasn't looking at the chart, which was another mistake. Don't trade distracted. And when I looked at the chart, it was this candle right here, and I said, oh my goodness, this is definitely going to keep on pumping. Look at the huge pump on up, and it is also Q4, which tends to be the reversal. Okay, another thing was the fact that this was a strong trend up in Q1. We accumulated during Q2. We manipulated lower, taking out sell side on Q3, and then we distributed higher. This was an XAMD model rather than AMDX like it usually is. So that was one thing that I also overlooked. Now, if I had been watching the charts, I probably would have recognized that. And then I would have realized, oh shoot, you know what? I got to get out at this candle right here. This candle right here is showing me that we have strength, and it's also Q4, the beginning of the next quarter. So because I wasn't watching, I exited late. I actually got out right there. Not too bad of a loss. Okay, it was definitely manageable. And overall, I was not that upset about it, right? But in hindsight now, I should not have taken this trade. I should have looked for a long setup. So price starts to move on higher, and then we start to retrace, and I'm thinking, okay, great, this is fine. We have a low, we have a high, we have a lower high, or a higher low, break of structure, retracement down into OTE. Let's look to see if we can get a long entry. Well, we do end up getting one right here. Price closes here. I market order in on the next candle. All right, price moved aggressively up, I kind of hesitated a little bit as well. And then as you can see, price starts to very slowly start moving on up. Up here, we tap into a 5-minute FEG, all right, on a higher time frame. 15 minutes still looks kind of bullish. 5-minute kind of looks bullish, but we are tapping into a 5-minute fair value gap. And just this slow grind up, I did not like. If price wants to move higher, it's not going to be such a slow grind up like this. It's going to aggressively get bought up like it did here and like it did here. But we're getting that slow grind up into a 5-minute fair value gap. And I said, you know what? I'm up on the day now, like a pretty good amount. And you know what? I'm just going to sell my position there, and I'm going to head back to work and continue doing what I was doing before, because I don't want to keep watching this and just be stressed out about it. And again, the biases were very conflicting on the 4-hour versus the 1 hour. The 4-hour was bearish. The 1 hour was still kind of bullish. The 15-minute was kind of bearish. The 5-minute was bullish. It was just a mess. So when there was no kind of alignment between all of those, I decided to stay away. And I said, this is not the type of environment that I want to be trading in. And so I got out. We had this big drop down, starts to pump back up, sweeps that high now. And another thing was the fact that it was Q2, right? I don't like to take trades in Q2. We're going higher in Q2 up into a 5-minute FEG. I figured, all right, Q3 is probably going to drop, so might as well sell here. So I caught myself. I was aware of what happened. I still ended up green, thanks to my discipline and risk management. But then obviously throughout the day, I did take this trade. I took a look at this trade. I didn't take it, but I was like, all right, well, if it wants to sell off, it'll sell off here. And lo and behold, it starts to pump on up like crazy. So it is what it is. All right, today was just not my day. I missed reading this opportunity. I did want that at first. I did say if I was going to go long, this would be my first take profit. And this entry right here would have been a nice 1 to 3, I believe it was. But hey, it happens. All right, tomorrow's a new opportunity. My accounts are still alive. They're actually in small green. Nothing wrong with that. So hopefully you guys ended up green today and caught some better moves than me. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. Peace.